Live on our Bipolar. I'm Jess Curtis. I run this channel and we're just doing a general bipolar disorder Q&A today. So good to see everyone. I already said hi to some of you. I see Moss is here. Moss, I'm just so happy for you. Well, I don't want to steal Moss's thunder, but if she wants to tell you guys, she has some good news. And sorry if you didn't want to do if you didn't want to share anything, but I'm just like so happy. But anyway, yes, so we're gonna talk about bipolar disorder. I already have some questions from Instagram today. I got someone DMing me and like giving me so many questions, and I was like, I should just answer them in the live because it's a lot to type out. So Andrea's here. Oh my God, so excited. I'm so excited about all of you, but I haven't seen Andrea on here in a long time. And we've been trying to FaceTime. So this is like a half FaceTime. You can see me, I can't see you. Yes, I would love to share Moss. So as some of you know, we were doing a GoFundMe for Moss, our wonderful moderator, one of our wonderful moderators, to get her a car that is disability friendly and to just help out because those, you know, it can be very expensive. And she found a car and she actually purchased it yesterday. So I'm like so happy for her. It's a Toyota Corolla and it's a hatchback, so she can put all her things in there. It sounds like a wheelchair or like, you know, any other accoutrement. And I'm just like so happy. So happy. Okay, we're already getting questions. Let me just do a very quick introduction. So like I said, I'm Jess. I have bipolar 1. I was diagnosed 27 years ago when I was a sophomore in college. When I was 19 years old, I'm now 46, as you can see by all my gray hair. So yeah, I've been living with bipolar disorder for a long time. I went through many years when I was not receiving good treatment. I wasn't on proper meds. I was off meds at times. I didn't understand how to treat my body outside of meds, like lifestyle changes, routine, all that stuff. And then after about a decade, I started doing much better and I got on better meds and I was doing much better. But you know, I still have episodes. I had a 2-month-long mixed episode in the spring, but my episodes are now not as often and not quite as severe. So that's good. But we're all just trying to live with this, right? We have to live with it. We have to take care of ourselves. And that's just one part of it, right? Because we need to receive the proper medical care and find good doctors, find good meds, and all that can be very difficult at times. Maybe not. Maybe you just breeze through, found the right meds, found the right doctors, all the things. But some of us didn't. So that's been my journey in a very small summary. But I already see a question that I want to answer. Oh, Dan, bipolar opposite. He's at work today. Won't be able to chime in. That's fine. That's fine. But I love that you're here. Thank you for coming. Question from David Thompson. Does bipolar disorder change with age? I have been told that it does. Just in my experience over almost 30 years, I think it has. But part of the problem is, like I said earlier on, I wasn't on proper medication. I wasn't treating my body properly. I wasn't getting enough sleep, all those things. So I think in a lot of ways, for me, once I got on proper meds when I was around 30, so still a while ago, I also started learning about how to treat myself, and that has made a world of difference. I mean, meds, you need the meds to work. But if you also are getting enough sleep and eating well, exercise, you have people to support you, even if they're through your phone. I mean, you need all those other things. And so I think I've done better as I've gotten older, but I have heard, and don't quote me on this, I am not a doctor, none of this is medical advice. I have heard that sometimes, so let's say like you were not being treated, like you were going untreated, that means mania with age could increase in severity. It could become worse as you get older. But I believe that if you are medicated properly and doing relatively well, then that doesn't happen. And I've heard that it can become more so like depression as you age can become the bigger issue. I mean, with some, this is going to vary, I'm sure, from person to person, but that's what I know about it. Please chime in the chat what you know about this. You're probably much more knowledgeable than I am on a lot of these questions, and that's why I love that you're here, and because I'm friends with you and I love seeing you. Mark Cameron says hi from Glasgow. That's so cool. Let's see. And like I said, I do have other questions. Oh, Ronnie says, I love your personality. Thank you. I used to hate my personality, but then that's something that's also changed with age. I now like myself. It's weird. Let's see. Miss M said, hey, this live stream was on my recommended page. Thought I'd stick around. Great. Glad to have you. And that reminds me, please like the live, guys, if you're in here. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I would love that. Refused is here. There's so many people here. Washing machine flood. No, Moss. There's plenty of mods. It's okay. Okay. Here's a question. Love, I'm just going to say love DD. For my brother, what will you suggest for Mania episode and talking to himself? I suggest he sees his psychiatrist right away. If that's not possible and he is, not doing well, I suggest he receive some sort of medical care, maybe go to the ER. I understand, this isn't you, this is your brother, and, maybe he won't agree to do that. And unfortunately, there's not much you can do. If he is under 18, your parents could make sure he receives care. So it can be difficult. I mean, I was just watching something on Instagram the other day talking about, it was a question for a psychiatrist on there, and he was saying, the question was like, how can I make someone receive care? How can I make someone receive care for their bipolar disorder? And if they're an adult, I mean, you can't really make someone do anything, right? Unless they are a danger to themselves or others. If they are not, what he was recommending, which I agree with, is try to be a safe space for this person. Try to be someone they would go to talk to, and eventually they may, believe you or agree with you that they need care. So that's one way of doing it. Yeah, Molly said we had to court commit my dad a lot of times. It was a nightmare for my mom. Yeah, and I know a lot of people have been in that position. It's got to be so hard. Okay, Anthony Call, who I think is new. Hello. Hi, how old were you during your first Manic episode? So I was 19. I was 19 years old. I think, I'm always like wondering, like, did I have a Manic episode before that really big one where it was right after I went back to college and for my sophomore year, and I ended up having psychosis because, I wasn't sleeping and I had no idea what bipolar was or that I could have it, or I didn't know what was going on, but I knew that I wasn't doing well. I didn't feel right, and I was telling people that. I wasn't acting like myself. I was suddenly like really funny and popular and cool, which I'd never been in my life, so something was obviously wrong. But then it went into psychosis. So yeah, I was 19. I've always been sort of grateful in a way, and like, because I didn't have any these really severe symptoms until college. So I got through high school like kind of unscathed, although I was pretty depressed probably near the end. But I was able to, you know, get through it pretty easily. But then college was another story. College was another story. I had to take time off. I did finish, but yeah, I had to change my major and what career I wanted, all that stuff. But yeah, I was 19. Okay, yes, Moss makes a very good point here. Get psychiatric directives when well, everyone please, to help family, help you if episodes, symptoms are in need of emergency care. I still have not done that, so I'm sorry, Moss. I need to do it. I'm just like, I've been so busy, and like I'm always so busy, and that's the problem. That's part of the problem with my bipolar, because stress brings on symptoms, but also it makes me forgetful in doing a psychiatric directive. Molly says, I have a question. What's the difference between bipolar and unipolar? Is unipolar just like if you have depression? I'm not familiar with that term, Molly. I'm sorry. Someone else could probably answer. Yeah. But I'm going to go to one of my questions from Instagram. And yeah, I'm on Instagram under the same handle, Our Bipolar. So you can follow me there. You can DM me. You can follow me on Facebook and DM me on there. I think there might even start being DMs on YouTube. Did you guys see this? It's kind of weird, but okay. Okay, well, I'm going to take Andrea's question first because I just saw. Okay, I'm currently going through a tough time. So I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. The idea of being medicated for the rest of my life just made me feel sad. Do you ever feel that way? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, friend. I mean, I wish I could relate to you on this. I don't feel sad about being medicated for the rest of my life, only because I know how horrible my life would be unmedicated. And I've done it, which I do not recommend, but I have done it. For me, it just proved to me how much I need medication. I'm more scared of like medications like stop working, or like how I am with lithium, and you know, I have this kidney disease from the lithium and like not being able to take lithium and something else not working. I'm more scared of things like that. So, but I know what you mean. I mean, sometimes I think I do feel like that. I don't think about it as much, but like every once in a while I'm like, why do I have to do all this? Like, medication part seems easy to me because I'm like, oh, it takes 2 seconds to take medication. Like, I can just do that. But like all the other stuff, like all the exercise, all the like paying attention, like not getting overstimulated, not having to worry about like going out and it's like a huge crowd of people and like feeling anxiety, and that could cause bipolar symptoms for me at least. Not like wanting to just go out late once in a while, stay out late, not have to go home early. Like even the 4th of July, I was thinking like I can't go to fireworks because I won't get home until like 1 or 2 in the morning. Like I can't do that. But at the same time, I am grateful for what I have, the life that I have, you know. I've built somewhat of a life, even though I don't get to do whatever I want. But yeah, I think sometimes I've been so far in it, like I've been in it for so many years that like I just don't go there very often because I'm just so used to it now, if that makes sense. Okay, question from Carol. You might be the Carol on Instagram. Sorry guys, I'm a little like I did yard work this morning and I like a little off. Not off, I'm stable, but you know, I'm a little tired, I should say. All right, do you have issues with memory and recalling experiences even when they didn't happen in acute episodes? Yeah, but I also like, you know, I won't get into it, but I experienced some pretty severe childhood trauma. I have a lot of issues with memory, like long-term memory, especially from then. I also have issues, I think, because of lithium with memory, and especially word recall, which, you know, is lovely for like wanting to do live streams, right? Or like when I'm at work in a meeting and I like that word I want to say is suddenly gone. And that happens here too. But you know, I work around it. But yeah, and then there are things that have happened in episodes that I also have forgotten. And sometimes people will tell me, like my parents or Brian or my husband or, you know, friends. Like usually it's from when I was having more severe episodes like mania, psychosis, stuff like that, which I haven't had for a while, thank the universe. But yeah, I do have issues in memory that I've mostly attributed to the medication, but maybe not. I mean, maybe it's just bipolar. Like our brains are being affected by these episodes, and our brains just function differently from most people's, right? I mean, they've shown that with scans. So yeah, I do have those kind of issues, definitely. I saw. Yeah, Ma said, did diabetics question lifelong insulin? Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think I don't think about it as much and I don't care about it as much, but I more question, like, why do I have to have bipolar? Not so much like, why do I have to take medication for it? I'd be like, if I just didn't have it, like, that would be great. And everything in my life would be perfect, but obviously that's not true. And we all know that because of all the other issues we have in life that are not related to bipolar, right? Trey, I wasn't using a wheelbarrow, but I was doing a lot of pulling weeds that were like almost as tall as me. Yes, I shouldn't let them get that far, but you know, yard work and being out is one thing we should probably talk about a little bit. Like being outside in the heat, and if you take certain medications, I know lithium is one, and there's others that can make you very heat sensitive, and you can get dehydrated easily. I definitely took breaks. I probably shouldn't be doing it at all, but like the front of our house, it was starting to look like no one lived here. Like, like it was just like abandoned. It was looking really bad. And I did yard work earlier this summer, so I feel like it should have been fine for the whole summer. I'm not one of those people who enjoy gardening or yard work, so oh well. Yeah, I know, Andrea, it won't go away. It took me a really long time to accept just having bipolar, and maybe longer than most, but it took me like probably those first 10 years when I was like super suffering. I really was pretending like nothing was going on, although everything was going on. Like I was having mania and depression almost every month. I mean, it was like nonstop. But somehow to the outside world, I was trying to pretend like I'm fine, I'm normal, I'm neurotypical. And I probably didn't do a good job of that, which is fine. Okay, have you ever struggled with focus and productivity, and did meds help? So meds help, just in general, meds help. And yes, meds help with focus and productivity for me. The problem is I'm taking meds and I still have episodes. So, which most people probably do. So now I pretty much mostly have mixed hypomania or depression, but more often it's the mixed hypomania. And that some people, they say like, oh, when I have hypomania, like I'm so focused and I get so much done and I'm like a rock star at work, or I'm a rock star at home and I'm like getting all this cleaning done and stuff. Like to an extent, I could say that might be true, but mostly for me, it makes it very hard for me to focus because I'm very distracted and it's so hard for me to get anything done. And so my productivity just plummets. And I'm most productive and focused and like I can concentrate when I'm stable. And if I'm hypomanic, it just really doesn't work. So if it's really bad, I will take time off work. And I will like just try to be kind to myself, like give myself a break, even at home. Like I know that I probably, even though maybe I could do some extra cleaning, like maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should calm down, give myself time off from things, like maybe ask someone to help me if it's like really necessary, like laundry or something, like I'm out of clothes, like I need help. I will, even though that's kind of like my job in our house, like I will ask my husband. I mean, I realize in some cases you may not have someone you can just like ask to do things, and just give yourself a break and like let things pile up once in a while. Like I do that. Definitely. All right. Oh, thank you so much, your cult boyfriend. So just wanted to say thank you for making content. Been watching for years. You've been so helpful to my bipolar experience. I had no idea. I don't think I've ever even like seen you comment before on a live. Thank you so much. It really means a lot, because sometimes it does get hard to like do all the things, right? Like including YouTube. But this is something I will never give up, because I love it more than anything and it fulfills me. And like, even though, I don't know if you guys ever have this where like the day after the live, I sometimes feel really drained, but it's like a good, like I feel like I've been productive and I've seen my friends, and it's like a social drain, you know, like sometimes even though we're doing this, you know, just over YouTube, but that really means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, Ma said she had to hire or they had to hire a lawn service. We do have a lawn service. This is just like weeding and stuff. Okay, Molly said, can someone have low grade bipolar? Like it gives them energy but does not go into mania. Yes, so I think that would be considered bipolar 2 or maybe cyclothymia. Cyclothymia is hard for me to describe, even though I think I know what it means. It's more like you're having bipolar episodes, but it's like you're not fitting into, like maybe the length of the episodes aren't long enough or something to fit into like a bipolar 2 or bipolar 1. So bipolar 2, like you don't have full-blown mania. You have hypomania and depression, which is sort of how my bipolar runs now, even though I have bipolar 1. It's just the medication means that I haven't, well, I could have it again, but I haven't had mania, full-blown mania in many years. So I always feel like I sort of function more as a bipolar 2 person now, although the difference is that a lot of people with bipolar 2 experience more depression, like much more depression, than someone with bipolar 1. And I don't have more depression. So I'm still more like bipolar 1, I guess. But yeah, so it is like I guess you could call it a lower grade bipolar, but at the same time, if you're having more depression, like that doesn't sound good to me. I don't know. I don't, it just sounds, it's all hard. Bipolar 1, bipolar 2, it's all hard. All right, let me see. Oh, so you think your sister has bipolar 2 maybe, but no full-blown mania? I mean, it could be. Is she being treated? Is she diagnosed? I know you said you've talked a lot about like your dad having bipolar 1, so, you know, bipolar is a genetic disorder. You have to have some sort of genetic predisposition. So that could be it. Okay, one of the questions from Instagram. These are all pretty like basic questions, but what meds do you currently take and what did you take in the past? So I have a video, I'll put it in the description after. It's called like my medication, my bipolar medication journey or something. And so you can like see the full deal. But for bipolar specifically, so right now I take lithium and Seroquel. Guys, I may be getting off the Seroquel. I don't know how this is possible, but I might be, because the Seroquel, my cholesterol is high. Part of it is like familial, but part of it is being caused, we think, by the Seroquel. And I'm not like a big person really, but I would have to get to like a lower weight to have my cholesterol, not trying to show you guys my stomach. I would have to get to a lower weight for my cholesterol to get even close to normal, which it hasn't been like ever. Well, it hasn't been for like 15 years at least. So anyway, I wasn't supposed to get into a whole story here, but like I may be getting off the Seroquel, or at least lowering it a lot, which is kind of scary. But I think if I had anxiety meds, I would be okay, because mostly I feel like I get anxiety, like I get overwhelmed, get a lot of anxiety, and that's what feeds into like the hypomania for me. So I'm like, let's see. But anyway, so that's what I take specifically. I also take birth control continuously, and that's to avoid that. I think I see as being for bipolar as well, because it does help me avoid like episodes caused by hormonal changes. So I don't have a period, I don't do, like I just keeps everything very just even. So what I took in the past, I took Depakote originally, and then I took a bunch of like stuff added on, which I don't even know all the names of, but it was like antipsychotics. So I think one of them was Zyprexa. What else? I mean, those were the main ones. Yeah, like for those 10 years, I saw like 5 different doctors and no one took me off the Depakote. And I was like too dumb to know that that was not good for me and causing me more problems with bipolar and not taking them away. Some people do great on Depakote. I heard of someone else recently who says they take Depakote and does very well on it. So this is all from, it's personal. It's from person to person. Oh, talking about anyone here post-menopausal. I'm not, but maybe someone here is. Okay, another question from Instagram. What kind of therapy do you do? Right now, I just do therapy with my psychiatrist. I know most psychiatrists only do med checks, and that's fine if you want to see someone else. I've done some therapy over the years besides that. So when I go to the psychiatrist, I have like an hour-long appointment. Includes therapy, not just like 15 minutes for a med check. But, and he's great. It's mostly like planning out my life to like plan how we're gonna have to maybe change my medication for certain events, or whatever's coming up, things that are going to be stressful, stuff like that. I've also done just regular talk therapy in the past. I've done EMDR for the childhood trauma, which I think is somewhat helpful. But I also I had, I guess, how do you say it? CPTSD, like PTSD from the childhood trauma. And there's so many incidents that it's hard. You have to in the EMDR, you deal with kind of one incident at a time, which did help immensely. I did some sessions and it helped. But what else I've done couples therapy with my husband, different time, maybe earlier on, and then we did some more, not really because we were having, the more recently, it wasn't we were having major problems, but he was doing some therapy, so I came in, and then it was sort of I was able to sort of, I don't know, kind of verify the stuff he was talking about, and I don't know. It was really helpful. It was really helpful in like how we communicated, help us learn how to communicate better. I know that's not necessarily for bipolar, but like it is, because we were talking about how he should talk to me, you know, when I'm having an episode or things like that. It was really, really helpful. And yeah, Moss says CPTSD makes treating bipolar more complicated. Yes, it does. It does. But it's like most people on earth have had some sort of trauma. So of course, like people with bipolar have had trauma, and it makes it so much more complicated. And that's why like some of the times I did therapy, I don't want to discourage therapy, but at the same time, if you are going to therapy to deal with trauma and your bipolar is like totally not under control, like you are not having long periods of stability, or at least some stability, right? Like it could complicate things and make the therapy like ineffective, because if you're just going to be talking about these things that are really upsetting, then it could trigger the bipolar and you could have symptoms and mania or depression or whatever because of it. And that's what happened to me early on. That was not good. Not good. But like that's why I did the EMDR, because then you're not really like rehashing all the trauma. You're more like you have to think about it to do it, but it's a lot different than having to verbalize it. Okay, question. Your cult boyfriend. Also, like, just because your handle says cult, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like super into researching about different cults. Like, I've read a lot of books, I've watched a lot of documentaries, I do a lot, like, it's like a big part of my life. I don't know, I'm just like so into it. Somehow it feels bipolar adjacent. Like it feels like if someone is like a cult leader, like almost like that's the bipolar in my life. In a weird way. Not exactly. I'm being silly too at the same time, so don't take me too seriously. Anyway, he says, I make videos too. I'm starting to make content that can cause me to slip into manic symptoms, the excitement, focus, attention. Any advice how to approach content creation? I basically have to like space things out. And when I'm feeling more up, like maybe not in an episode, but I'm feeling closer, like more energetic, closer to hypomania or mania, I don't do it. Or I try not to do it, but sometimes I do. I've definitely made videos where I was like, I shouldn't be making a video right now, and I did anyway because I couldn't stop myself. It is hard, but it's sort of like anything else. Like if you weren't going to be making content, would you maybe like be doing something else creative? Would you fall into something like that? So I feel like if I wasn't making videos, I might be like trying to write a story or like write, write Instagram posts, or I mean, if you're super creative, like if you were like painting or something like that. So I feel like in some ways, like it's good to have a hobby. It's good to be excited about something. It's good to have something to focus on, like YouTube. But at the same time, I have to know my limits, and I have to mostly, I can't always control myself completely, but I have to mostly not overdo it. And for a while, I was trying to make a video every single week. This is before I started doing lives this year. And that was like way too much for me. I just could not do that. Even though I knew like making weekly content is good, right? It's going to help my channel. More people are going to see it. But that's one reason I started doing lives. Well, also because I love it and I just love like actually interacting with all of you. But it does take some pressure off doing the videos, because doing the videos can get you really excited, can get you really, yeah. Yeah. I feel your pain for sure. And if you're just starting, well, it sounds like you've been making videos. when I first started, I did not try to do anything on a timeline. Like I didn't say like, I have to do this weekly or I have to make a video every month. I just did it whenever I felt like doing it. And that helped me, but of course it didn't help grow my channel. So it's sort of like a catch-22. Yes, definitely. And I've said this too. Moss and Mother Reagan, bipolar itself is a trauma. Yes, it is. It is. The Jim Jones cult. Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah. Right now, I'm more interested. I mean, I don't want to get too far off bipolar into cults, but like I'm more interested in ones that are going on right now. So, like Scientology or fundamental Mormonism or, well, Nexium is like sort of, it's disbanded, but more recent stuff like that is what I'm more interested in. But yeah, I have seen that movie. Just so you guys know, I know I miss a lot in the in the chat. I love that you guys are talking so much, but I do go back and watch it again once the live chat replay comes up, because I want to see what everyone was talking about, like what I missed out on. So I do that. Oh, Steph's here, bipolar person, awesome. Was busy suing someone. Well, we could talk about that later, Steph. I'll text you. Because I want to know what's going on with that. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get another question from, and if I miss anything, like I always try to say, put it back in the chat if I've missed a question. Okay, another question from Instagram. What is your diet? What is your diet? Well, okay, let's talk about my diet when I'm stable. When I'm stable, my diet is actually pretty healthy. I try to make sure I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I try to skip meals. I drink a lot of water. I don't drink alcohol. It's been almost 4 years that I haven't had alcohol. I try to eat like healthy, like a lot of fruits and vegetables. Like when I do have like bread or carbs, I try to have like whole wheat and things like that. I try to have mostly like lean protein. And then of course sometimes I go off the rails and have like ice cream or like I'm not a saint. But I try to keep it to mostly healthy so that when I do go off the rails of it a bit, that I feel like I can do that, and I try not to overeat, because with Seroquel, I feel like that there's like that pull sometimes. Now I'll talk about more like, so when I have to increase my antipsychotic, which I take Seroquel, that is really hard because my appetite literally goes through the roof. It goes from like, I feel normal. I feel like I can eat like a normal, like for me, whatever the typical amount of food it is. And then it suddenly goes to like wanting like 2 to 3 times that, and wanting more sugar and more carbs and like all of that, and eating at night. For some reason, like even if I'm like really trying hard to like still eat healthy on when I have to increase the Seroquel, I get to nighttime and I'm like ravenous. Like I should have eaten more during the day, or I don't know if it just like gets worse at night. I'm not sure, but like I try really hard outside of those times, like when I'm maybe having hypomania or depression, when I have to increase meds to try not to have hypomania. I just know that it's going to happen, and I'm probably going to gain weight every single time I have to increase Seroquel. And I always do. So like I've been on this sort of like health journey, trying to be healthier, mostly because of this high cholesterol. And then every single time I have to increase, I like gain the weight back. and it's it's just like a yo-yo. And luckily it's not like a ton of weight. It's usually like 5 pounds or 7 pounds or something like that. But I'm a very small person. Like I mean, I might be 5'2", probably not. I think I'm more like 5'1" at this point. And it's very obvious when I gain any amount of weight. But and it's like my clothes don't fit, stuff like that. So anyway, I do try really hard though, especially when I'm stable, to keep my diet healthy. And even like my family knows, like sometimes they'll like get McDonald's and I don't. Or I get something from McDonald's that's like much healthier, like chicken strips or something. Like I'm just always trying to like do that, but at the same time, like I know it can't be perfect and I just like I'm not gonna drive myself nuts trying to like be super healthy all the time. Okay. Let me see if I have another question here and then I'll go back. Yeah. Okay, Steph, bipolar person. How do you deal with judgment for being a mom? Someone said something really shitty to someone else I saw online. I mean, like, I don't really have people judging me to be a mom. I don't know. Maybe they should. That sounds terrible. Do you mean like, you just mean judgment in general, not like because of bipolar, right? Well, you can let me know. But yeah, I really don't have a lot of that. People aren't saying things to me much like on Instagram or um, Facebook or YouTube about being a mom, even though, and I talk about it a little bit, but like I really try to keep my daughter private, like, just her personally. But I do talk a little bit about being a mom and parenting. And I've never had people like say shitty things to me, luckily. But I do sometimes feel like it's sort of like a self stigma. Like I'll think about it. Let me, like, for instance, like people don't usually say bad things, but sometimes people will say like, well, I never wanted to have kids because I knew that I could pass bipolar onto them. And I'm like, that feels like judgy because obviously I have a kid and I knew that there is that possibility. Someone was saying how they attempted several times. Another said after all that you had a kid. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I mean, people can change. People can like have gotten, you know, have I mean, I don't know what the reasoning was, of course, for like not wanting to be here anymore, but you know, I would have never done it at all, of course, if I didn't feel like I was going to be able to handle it and like being in a more stable place. I mean, those first like that first decade or so, like I never considered having kids, like never. It wasn't until I had been stable for like mostly stable for like a good 5 years that I even allowed myself to think like, oh, I could probably do this. But I mean, I don't want to go into it too far. It's more like, yeah, everyone makes their own decisions. I think you can be a very good parent and have bipolar disorder. I think you have to be honest with yourself. If you have the capacity, like the time, not the time, but like the amount of stress that goes with being a parent is massive. So you have to think like, am I able to take that on? And I thought about it for a while. I discussed it with my psychiatrist ad nauseum. I, just talked to my husband about it. We did all of this before. And then I had, fertility issues. So there was like, it almost didn't happen, and I'm so glad it did. But I think like it could just as easily not be right for other people. And that totally fair. But at the same time, like, I luckily haven't had people really judge me much or say much. I think moms and parents are judged all the time without having bipolar disorder or any kind of mental illness. You're always going to be judged for how you raise your child, and I've been judgy of other people who you know, like kids I know and like parents, but I think for good reason, because I think in some cases they're like really kind of harming their children. So, you know, it's something that just comes with being a parent, and being a bipolar parent is like probably even more so. Aww. Andrew said, Jess, the reason I no longer feel afraid of having, or Jess is the reason I no longer feel afraid of having children. Oh, that's really nice. Don't listen to me. I'm just one person. Not trying to discourage you in any way. You would be a wonderful parent. I saw a question and then like, okay. Daniel Ozark. Hi, Daniel. How do you deal with things just getting worse over time? I feel like things have been shifting. Yesterday I had an outburst. You mean like whenever you're going on and you can feel things are getting worse? Yeah. I experience so much dread when I can feel like I know I'm going downhill. Like I haven't been in, maybe I'm not in an episode yet, but like I can feel like I'm so stressed, I'm getting overwhelmed. I can feel that like something's going to happen or might happen. And it's like that, ugh, horrible dread. And it's like, and I know feeling the dread is probably also pushing me towards it. I do not like that. Why would I? Why would anyone? That's when I start feeling that way. For me, that's when I start slightly increasing my antipsychotic. Or for some people, maybe like you have it as a rescue med and like you start taking it, maybe at a low dose. That's what I do. But I know like once I'm doing that, like shit's bad. So like it doesn't make me feel that much better. It does help. But sometimes for me, it's like too late. Like I should have started sooner, or it's like there's no stopping it. Like the meds won't stop it. I really like, because of all these things, I try to make sure I'm like always getting my exercise in. And if I miss a day, fine. But like try to like, you know, keep up with it as much as possible. Keep up with things that reduce stress in my life, like meditation, which I haven't done for like a month, but don't do what I'm doing. But like I started journaling, guys, and I only do it for like 5 minutes a day. And I do it, it's only like a stream of, it's not like grammatically correct or anything. It's like a brain dump. It's like a stream of consciousness where I'm just like saying what's going on, like good or bad, you know, like I'm trying to like get it out of my head. I just started doing it this week, but I do think it's helping, honestly. But things like that, but that, of course, those things are like not going to help you when you're feeling like things are getting bad. You know, you have to be doing that kind of like all the time, and it can help. But yeah, honestly, I have to go to the medication at that point, really, unfortunately. And sometimes just talking to someone can help too. When I'm starting to get, when things feel like they're just getting worse, like if I can talk to someone who really understands, and like I have so many support people now, like through, you know, Instagram, YouTube, all of this, like Moss is one of my people, like, you know, Andrea, like I have, luckily I have a lot of people now, so I don't feel like I'm like overburdening one person. Like I can like, they can take turns a little bit. Yeah. Sorry, I'm way behind now, but there's something about, I missed it. Yeah, I super struggle with journaling. I just started doing it, and like I said, it's like a literal 5 minute. And I started doing it because I hate writing, and I realized like, oh, typing is better for me. So I do it on my computer now, and it actually like, I don't know, it just seems easier. Like I still don't love it, but for 5 minutes I can do it. And I try to like start my day with that, like my work day. But wait, I just saw a question in it. Jumped. Okay. Bipolar person, do you ever wake up with negative thoughts for no reason? Yes. Like, I'm only laughing because, like, yesterday I just woke up and I was having I was like, all this stress. And I'm trying to remember. Oh, I was like having all these weird stress. It wasn't negative, but it was like I was having all this stress about the live, like about doing the live today. Like, but this was like 2 days ago. And I'm like, I never worry about doing the live. Like I never stress out about it. Like what is going on? I knew it wasn't the live that I was actually worried about. I knew it was like something else, which, you know, there's other stuff going on. So like I knew I was getting too stressed just in general. And that's why because I haven't even thought about it since. It was like, so, you know, sometimes, especially like with sleeping, like sometimes you'll wake up in the night and you're like super stressed about something, but it's not something you actually care about sometimes. It's like you feel like, oh my God, I have to do this. And then like you wake up in the morning, you're like, why was I like, it's almost like half a dream or something. But I feel like when I start getting in those places, like shit's going bad in my life in some other way. And I have to get a handle it, which is one of the reasons I started journaling. So I was like, I just need to try something. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back to these Instagram questions. I don't even know how to, it says, how do you manage negative symptoms of bipolar? Well, like probably all the things we've been talking about. I mean, God. Oh, thank you. Mark said, love the pretty hair. I'm like hating it today, but thank you for saying that because I've been feeling my hair is shorter than usual because my stylist is going on break for surgery. So she's not coming back until like October or November. So I cut it shorter because I was like, I'm not going to anyone else. Negative symptoms. I mean, all the symptoms are negative, aren't they? I mean, well, no. Some people enjoy, I think, hypomania. Even mania, some people tell me they enjoy. If you do, you know, like, I'm happy for you, but I'm also like kind of worried that that means you're gonna like try to get into hypomania or mania, and like that could be destructive depending on how high you go. I know when I was having mania, I could go it could go very bad and destructive for my relationships, friendships. Yeah. And then if you have psychosis, that's a whole other thing that can be very destructive. So, so dealing with like depression and mixed episodes, yeah, that's really hard. And I was just talking to a friend about this the other day, and I was saying how like she's like, how do you deal with like the worst parts of it, like the worst symptoms when you're feeling the worst? And I was like, you know, all I can really do is like try to be easy on myself and kind to myself if I can. I mean, it's hard, but I try to remind myself that this is temporary. Like feeling this way is temporary, even though it really doesn't feel like that when you're in depression or in a mixed episode. It feels awful and it feels like it won't end sometimes. And I know like I have long episodes. So if I'm having like a mixed episode, it could be a month or 2 months. and some people have really long depression, right? So it can be really, really hard. I'm not saying it's easy to be kind to yourself at those times, but I'm trying to like also, if I have people around me, I try to let them know, like, hey, I might not be acting like myself, and I'm sorry. Sometimes I'll like say sorry before I even do anything. Like, if I say something harsh or rude or unkind, I'm sorry, you know, it might happen. Like, it's probably gonna happen. So I'm just gonna say sorry now. And then I'll say sorry again, of course. But yeah, it's not easy. And of course, like, I contact my doctor if I'm having these episodes, but a lot of it is just trying to get through it and deal with it. And I usually tend to, like, if it's a hypomania or like, you know, a mixed hypomania, try to like not have quite as much stimulation, like not be around people quite as much for me helps. Maybe like doing more alone time and just like trying to calm things. Depression is hard because it's like you're too calm, right? You're like maybe having a lack of emotion, or maybe you're feeling really sad, or, you know, all of that. And that can really, I don't know, it's like I don't have all the answers, you know? But what I tend to do is try to be like really, really kind of like good to myself in a way of like being like, it's okay to like not do as much and not be what? Question someone's asking about someone else thinking they were a witch. So you're talking about like if someone was in psychosis? I mean, to me, it sounds like if someone is, you know, unless they're like Wiccan, maybe that's different. Oh, it says, sorry, I'm trying to find the original question to see how it was. Okay. Any kind of manic psychotic episode about someone claiming to be a witch. I mean, I've never heard of that. Diego Vasquez. But if they're in mania or psychosis, I mean, yeah, that sounds pretty normal to me. I mean, you know, normal for psychosis. But yeah, especially if they're manic, they're not sleeping, like psychosis can come on pretty quickly without sleep. And I mean, this person, if this is a person, you know, like they need to seek medical attention. Yeah. Oh gosh, we're really almost at the end. I'm trying to see. Andrew says I was admitted for 3 weeks in IOP, but since a lot of intense things happened, I'm afraid of slipping back into an episode. I know, but it seems like you're doing really well. I mean, like, because I know her outside of YouTube. But I could see how you could have that fear because there have been a lot of intense things that have happened. I would feel exactly the same way. I would just keep a very close eye on your mood, on your energy levels, and your sleep, and all, you know, all the things, you know, like, and if any of those changed, I would definitely like reach out to my doctor right away, because you're at a time where it is sort of like a danger zone. And that's, I think, why you're feeling afraid of having an episode. But it does seem like you're doing really well. I mean, unless something happened like the past couple days. Well, I think we're wrapping up. I don't think I have any more last minute questions. And I think I've gone through most of the Instagram Instagram questions. But yeah, Andrea, let's talk, we need to talk anyway. I'm sorry I haven't replied to your voice notes, your voicemail, but I have I just got busy the past day or two. But yeah, I think we can wrap up. Thank you so much, everyone. You've like been so amazing. Like the chat helps so much, and that's why I like always go back and watch the video with the chat, because I want to like see everything. And like I said, we're closing off, but like if you haven't liked the live yet, please do that. Subscribe if you want. I would love that. I'll be doing these lives every other week. So, not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that. And they're pretty much always at 1 o'clock Eastern. And I love doing them. It's like my favorite thing when I know, like, oh, it's a live week. Like, I'm going to be doing a live and seeing everyone. So, I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, and some of you, I'll talk more to you with you offline, but it was great seeing you. It was a great live. Thank you so much for coming. See you in a couple weeks. Bye.